All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Justin Gonzalez, and I'm a part of the customer success team based out of San Francisco, our Square San Francisco headquarters. Today, I'm joined by Megan Karande and Chris Woodyard, part of our Square for Retail team. They have a fantastic presentation ready for you all. And with that, I'm actually going to pass it over to Megan and Chris to kick it off. So thank you all for joining.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session on getting the most out of Square for Retail. My name is Megan Karande.
And I'm Chris Woodyard. We have quite a bit to cover over the next half hour, so let's get started.
Today, we'll be taking you through a tour of key features in Square for Retail. We'll start by looking at the Square for Retail point of sale app, and then take a look at Square for Retail features in your online Square dashboard. Afterwards, we'll leave some time for questions. And don't worry about taking notes. The presentation is being recorded and will be made available to watch again later. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Chris to walk you through the Square Retail app.
Thanks, Megan. So let's take a look at our iPad and tap the teal icon with the notation of retail. While our regular point of sale is designed for general use, the Square for Retail point of sale is specifically designed for retailers. We've built it in both a seamless checkout flow and a powerful tool for managing your back of house inventory. So now that I've entered into the retail point of sale, you can see that I need to enter my employee passcode. I'm going to type in my employee passcode, in which I land into my checkout cart. This is front and center. The intention here is to make sure that our checkout experience is as quick and seamless as possible, and making sure that we also maintain a very customer-focused profile around the cart itself. And with that, Megan is going to be my customer.
Hey there.
Welcome to Needle and Sky. So she's looking to buy a dress, a pair of jeans, and a shirt. I can add these to my cart in many ways, one example being barcode scanning. For the interest of this demo, I'm going to actually show 3 different ways in which we can add items to a cart. The first is tapping the global search UI, which you can see where it says search items, customers, and transactions. I can search my inventory directly by tapping inventory. And in doing so, I see a list of all of my items, the available stock. I can scroll through my list of items. In this example, I'm going to add the dress that Megan is interested in. A second way in which I can add items to my cart is still tapping that global search UI. I'm going to tap in denim for those jeans she's been looking for. I'm going to pull up the size 25 she told me she wanted. The last thing I'm going to also do is I'm going to be able to search here by SKU. So I'm going to type in one of my SKUs. I'm going to be able to lower the cart, look at all the items that match even close to that SKU. I'm going to add the small shirt. And there we started to build out our cart. You can see what we do is we have large print, making sure that you have the validation that you've added the correct things to your cart. We include things like SKU, the variation of the item, and also the price. So right now, I do know that I'm running a summer special on shirts. One way that I can do that is actually swiping on shirt, and it allows me to expose the apply discount option. So tapping apply discount pulls up all available discounts. As I mentioned, I have my summer shirt sale going on, tapping that item now. And that adds it as an item level discount. So you can see that discount reflected underneath the shirt, and also the price is reflected so you can tell that customer exactly what they're gonna be paying for that item. So Megan is a customer of mine. She's been here many times before. I'm going to now tap that add customer row to make sure that this transaction is associated with her profile. So adding customer, I can see some recently added customers. In this example, I'm going to search for Megan because I know that she shopped with me before. In this example, I can have validation of her email address. Fake Megan is always going to be her email, her phone number. But tapping into Megan's name, I can also get a little bit more customer context. So potentially her shipping information, her address. I can also scroll down to understand her recent summary with me, her average spend, the frequency in which she visits, also some of the previous transactions that she shopped with me. So it gives me a quick sense of Megan as my customer. What I did notice though in scrolling through here that I do have a customer note, and that I can understand here that her sister has a birthday coming up in July. So Megan, now that you're at my counter, I can say, hey Megan, I know that you mentioned that your sister has a birthday coming up. We actually just got a whole bunch of new scarves in. They're in the back. Would you like to take a look?
Oh, great. I'll go check it out.
So now that Megan's actually walking away from my counter, I actually have the option to just like maintain my cart and make sure that actually everything's running smoothly. When she comes back though, what I can do is I can add in a favorite here. So I'm going to tap favorites. And then she comes back to that counter with that scarf. So now I've built out that cart to also include the scarf. So now that we have that, I'm actually going to now start entering into the payment flow. So I can tap charge in the lower right-hand corner, and I can see all of my available payment options. The great thing about Square is that we do have integrated payments, so there's no need to go through the trouble of connecting a separate payment processor. Everything is going to be here. You don't actually have to do any of that additional research. So we're ready to accept Megan's payment method, in which case this is going to be cash. I'm going to type in cash, and then I can ask Megan, hey Megan, do you need a receipt?
No, thanks.
Great. So I'm going to say no thanks here, and we're going to continue back into that cart view. Have a great day, Megan. So you can see that the checkout experience is designed to be as quick and customer-centric as possible to cut down on wait times and wait for a great in-store experience.
Hey Chris, I'm back. I grabbed the wrong jean size.
Oh, no worries, Megan. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into my global search UI. I'm going to tap search. There's a few ways in which I can pull up this transaction. In this example, I'm going to show just scrolling through my transactions. If we did have a printed receipt, I could barcode scan the bottom of the receipt to pull up the transaction. I could also search via the receipt number. So in this example, I'm going to tap transactions. I can see that I have Megan's previously shopped with me before. And then I can go through a return or exchange function. So as mentioned, she bought the wrong pair of denim, happens all the time. So I'm going to tap that denim that I'm going to be returning. In this option, I do have the availability to restock that item immediately from the point of sale. I'm going to select that item. I'm going to click next and see now that I actually start to build out a refund flow. So Megan wanted a size 26. I'm going to go back into my search. I can either barcode scan or search. I'm going to search for denim in this example. I'm going to pull up size 26, and we automatically calculate the difference in the tax. And if there was a balance that was due, we could go through the charge flow, or if Megan was buying an item that was less expensive, we would go through a refund flow. So I'm going to type even exchange here, record that as a $0 payment. So now that we've refunded that, I'm going to say, Megan, you're all set.
Thank you. That was easy.
So in the example in which Megan, there may have been a lot of people around the counter, there is an option that we can always build out a saved cart. So I'm going to add one of my scarves again just to this cart. And in doing so, I can actually scroll down on my cart and actually go through and save a cart. So in this example, I'm going to tap Save Cart. I'm going to give this a name for another customer and tap Save. So now that Julie has gone off and shopped, I wanted to go back, find another item. Julie returns to the counter. I can actually tap View Saved Carts, pull up Julie's cart, and then actually continue out with the payment flow. So one thing that I didn't show earlier was actually some of those additional actions. So I'm going to tap Actions right now, and you can see that I can clear out the cart, I can create a new customer, add a custom amount, apply any discounts. We also have the ability to sell gift cards from the point of sale. We have check gift card balance, and if you have a loyalty program, we can actually redeem that reward. So I'm going to go ahead now and clear out the cart, save any unchanged changes. And I'm now going to focus on some of the inventory features that are built into the point of sale. For example, do I want to look at items that are available across multiple locations? So maybe I have a brick and mortar store, a warehouse, multiple brick and mortar. I can tap search, I can tap inventory, and then I can see more info on any one of my items. So I'm going to tap the first item here. And I can see that I now have 31 in store, and I also have 3 in other locations. Tapping the 31 in stock, I can actually go through and make any adjustments that I need to. So should I gone through a recount effort, I could do that here. I also can tap 3 in stock to view my other store locations. So in this example, Wicker Park has 3. If I had multiple stores, you would have seen those listed here as well. So I'm going to exit back out of this. And now we're going to look at our main menu, which is in the lower left-hand corner. That's the 3 horizontal lines. So I'm going to enter in there. and you're going to see some inventory features. The first feature I'm going to use is our receive stock flow. So imagine that box that just received from UPS. You have a few items within there. You actually can go through the receive stock flow and actually update your inventory counts directly from the point of sale. In this example, I'm going to type in an item. I can do search. So I'll just search now for one of my jackets. I know that I had 6 of those that were received in a box. I also now have another pair of denim that have come in. It's my size 28. I'm going to have 10 of those. I'm just going to lower the keyboard, and now I'm going to finish receiving stock. This is automatically going to update my receive functions. You're going to see that I have validation of all the items that I've actually are adding to this cart. I can edit any of these vendors, change the unit costs. I'm going to hit save, and those items are now reflected here. I'm also going to tap those 3 horizontal lines again to get to my main menu. I'm going to view my purchase orders. So tapping view purchase orders, I can now receive against any of the purchase orders that I've created in my Square dashboard, which Megan's going to demonstrate in just a moment. I can tap purchase order number 7, for example. You can see some of the items that are available on this purchase order. I can add an optional fee. I'm just going to go through the next flow, validate all the items that were on this purchase order. I'm going to mark those as receive. I can also send an email to myself just that I have validation that they were accounted for. Going to tap receive, and again, this is another way in which we can intake inventory and receive inventory from the point of sale. Let's also imagine though that one of those items that I received in that UPS box isn't actually in my stock. So what I'm going to do now is going to create an item from the point of sale. Lower left hand corner again, I have the 3 horizontal lines. I'm now going to create item. So in this example, I noticed that a notebook was received. Going to add that here. I can select a category should I so choose. I'm going to add a price of $8, add a SKU here of 890. I can do a receive stock. I know that I now have one of these that are in stock with a unit cost of $4, for example. So in this example, I'm actually starting to build out that brand new item. The nice thing is I can also assign a tile or an image to that item. So I'm going to tap that tile in the top left-hand corner that says NO, which is abbreviated for notebook. I'm going to edit that. So in this example, you can see I have a different color palette. I can take a photo. Here's my notebook. I can use this photo. I'll just crop it quickly just to have the top of that notebook. Done cropping, saving that item in my point of sale. So this concludes our tour of the Square for Retail app. We'll now be turning our attention to Square features that exist in Dashboard, specifically our Square for Retail features.
Thanks, Chris. So I'll be walking through Square for Retail features specific to your online dashboard. Square for Retail is cloud-based, so you can access your dashboard from anywhere. Square Dashboard has tons of features, but I'm only going to focus on those that are specific to Square for Retail today. To get to these features, I'm going to tap on the upper right-hand corner to go to my Inventory tab. In this tab, I can see all of the features in Dashboard that are specific to Square for Retail, including the stock view, purchase orders, vendor management, advanced inventory reports, and inventory history. I'm going to start out by talking through the stock tab. Here we can see a high-level overview of stock at all of my locations and what's running low and what's out. I can also filter this view by my locations. If I click into an item, I can view all of the item details, including vendor information and stock levels at both of my locations. I can adjust stock from this view. Let me show this here just by typing in the current stock level. And also take different stock actions, like if I want to track if something's recounted due to damage or theft. From this view, if I also tap in the upper right-hand corner, I can transfer stock between my 2 locations. I can access the adjust stock or transfer stock view from tapping these 3 buttons to the right of my item name. So in addition to these stock actions, I can also print labels from this view. I'm just going to tap Print Labels in the upper right-hand corner. I can select my label type, which location I'm printing them for, select what details I want to have on my label, and I can either add items by category or select them from a recent purchase order, or just add a product through search. And it'll actually auto-populate the amount that I currently have in stock, but I can also change the amount that I'm trying to print. And then I can go ahead and tap Create Labels. And just like that, my labels are ready to use. Unlike some other systems, Square generates the barcode label for you, so there's no need to upload any images or purchase any separate UPC codes. I'm going to go ahead and X out of this view now. And from the Stock tab, I'm going to turn my attention to the Purchase Orders tab. So you can see this is a fairly similar view to what you see in the app, except it shows purchase orders at all my different locations. So both ones that are pending and ones that are archived. I can also see what date they're expected on. Receiving a purchase order is pretty much exactly the same in Dashboard as it is in the app. So instead of being repetitive, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a purchase order. I'm going to tap Create a Purchase Order in the upper right-hand corner here. Now I can select my vendor, where I want to ship it to, what date it's expected on, add any notes, and then simply type in product names. Add unit prices, and then add quantities, and even a vendor code. Tap Create, and just like that, I'm good to go. I can email my vendor my purchase order directly from my Square dashboard. We can go ahead and preview that email right now. Great, so I'm going to now tap Done. In addition to purchase orders, there's also vendor management in Square for Retail. I can keep a contact list of all of my various vendors I use to order items from. Going ahead and click on this first vendor. And here I can see all of the vendor information and also recent items I've ordered from this vendor and recent unit costs. Now I'm going to turn my attention to one of the most powerful features in Square for Retail, which is advanced reports. So in addition to the great reporting you get with any Square account, Square for Retail has 3 special reports: cost of goods sold, projected profit, and inventory by category. I'm going to go ahead and click through them quickly just to so you can see what information you get. So let's tap into cost of goods sold. Here I can view my total cost of goods sold, total revenue, profit, and profit margin. I can view this for all of my sales and then also for individual items and variations. Going to X out of this now. In projected profit, I can view the current value of my inventory and projected profit and margin. Again, I can get a high-level overview or view it by individual item and variation. And then in inventory by category, I can view the total inventory value of each item category and the potential profit and profit margin. And like with any Square report, all of this data is exportable, so you can manipulate it however you want. Lastly, I'm going to go take a look at inventory history. Here I can view all the actions that have ever been taken to my inventory. This way I know that my business is secure and who exactly is taking these actions. For example, if we click on this one here, in the details I can see the date, what item was affected, and what location. And with that, that concludes our tour of Square for Retail. We hope that this feature tour will help you discover all the powerful tools included with your Square for Retail solution.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and I hope you found today's session valuable. Have a great day.
Thank you.